Bond is back, but it's just a shame that it's been delayed on the Nintendo Switch 2, because this would have been my preferred place to play 007 First Light. But instead, I am playing it on my PlayStation 5. Just being able to go from playing on my PlayStation 5 to then picking up the Portal, switching from TV to handheld, not just remote playing it, but cloud streaming the game from the PlayStation servers using my digital library of games, and it feels like that experience of playing it on the Nintendo Switch 2, and it's flawless on this thing. It looks beautiful, it plays incredible, and I'm having that Nintendo Switch experience with my PlayStation Portal, playing 007 First Light on this thing. Let's get into it. You think I.O. and you would expect to see a Hitman game. And this does feel and play like a Hitman game in these open big areas of exploration, where you're doing stealth, distraction and action. And I.O. have just completely nailed the James Bond formula. And throughout this game you basically follow Bond's journey. You follow him as he grows up to become 007, to become the spy that we all know him to be. Uncharted is one of my favourite franchises out there, and at times I kept on thinking that I'm playing Uncharted the way this game feels and plays in third person, with all of the parkour and shimmying across rails and climbing and jumping across stuff that goes along with it. I felt like Nathan Drake, and then I had to remember, wait, I'm James Bond. I'm in Bond's shoes. This is a James Bond game. We have been waiting so long now for a new James Bond game. The last James Bond game was 14 years ago, and now we are here in 2026 with First Light. This tells an original 007 story, a James Bond origin story that sees a young, stubborn, arrogant James Bond joining MI6 to become a 00, with the 00 program being rebooted. And you're also your own Bond, a fresh face that isn't trying to copy of any other James Bond before this. You go from army to then all of the training, getting recruited by the MI6 to then on assignment. And I just loved how we get a more in-depth look and feel as James Bond, where you literally see Bond in his apartment, moving into this London apartment and just doing just normal stuff. And you just see the human side of Bond before all that spy stuff comes into play. And then when you are on your first assignment, you are a chauffeur, but being arrogant and stubborn, he decides to take matters into his own hands. And this is where the gameplay truly opens up. This is when you truly start to feel how incredible this gameplay is, when you are just set free in these big, lush, open areas with amazing level design, atmosphere, music and set pieces. And this is where the Hitman-esque gameplay comes into play, but at the same time it is also nothing like Hitman. The depth of Hitman is unmatched. This isn't here with 007 First Light to that extent. As you try to sneak your way in, as you try to distract enemies, as you try to lie your way past guards, use your Q watch to make an enemy nauseous, to be able to pickpocket an unsuspecting enemy or eavesdrop on a conversation to get a hint or a clue on where you need to go next. And just the different ways where you'll be planning and thinking how to get in there, or what you can do, or what item can you use to distract the guard, or what can you set off, or what item in the environment can you use as a distraction. Literally, the world is at your disposal, distracting, tricking, and sneaking past unsuspecting enemies, or you can just punch your way through. You can also lure enemies to your location to grab their attention. Fake surrender. Use bluff for them to simply let you walk on past. Lie or comply, it's really up to you how you approach these situations. Some will take you at your word and others won't even give you the time of day. You come armed with your Q watch. All of Bond's classic gadgets at Q Branch are in attendance here. What would be a Bond game without gadgets? And there is an array of gadgets at your disposal. You'll be using your Q watch to trigger something in the environment, be it something to distract a guard with or cause an explosion. When sneaking around and hiding behind stuff, you can also blend in and hide in the tall grass like a Pokemon. And the combat is absolutely amazing in this game. It is just so fun, so addictive and smooth. With a well-timed dodge or parry as you throw punches, with a red indicator to dodge and a yellow to parry. From light and heavy to also using the environment as your weapon. Throwing enemies off a ledge, throwing your gun that's out of ammo to catch them off guard, or just charge at them with a run attack before finishing them off with a finishing blow. Being able to string combos together, throwing enemies off things and just seeing things in the environment get damaged or explode as the enemies get thrown into the environment and across tables. Everything is interactable. Or you can just throw them at each other. If they are blocking too much or you're having trouble breaking their guard, just throw them into something. Throw a glass bottle at them to disarm them. You can also disarm them by using the laser on your Q watch, or shoot their gun out of their hand, or just shoot their kneecaps to make them weak at the knees. Literally, the combat is phenomenal in this game, and what you can do when in combat, you can take enemies down silently, you can do finishing blows, you can grab them, you can throw them, you can launch them, you can do basically anything. And these takedowns are brutal. And when it goes into license to kill, you can then freely use any weapon at your disposal, be it your own or a guard's that you pick up or disarm, because ammo is sparse. You can even use focus, where you can slow down time for more precise shots. You can cause all of the destruction and chaos that you see fit when you are in combat, when you are in these gunfights. There is these huge destructible set pieces. You will be on the edge of your seat with adrenaline and satisfaction, using your gun to blow stuff up, using gadgets to trigger huge explosions and just seeing enemies go flying. Just like you would see right out of a Bond movie, it has you on the edge of your seat with its combat, with its gunplay, and it just beautifully captures everything from the movies. It feels like a James Bond movie that you are playing out, because that's what this is. It's essentially the next installment in the James Bond franchise. And if they are rebooting the movies with a fresh Bond, this is it. You'll be using the Q watch to scan areas for areas of interest, objectives, and just to see enemies, and also you'll be hacking, using your laser, firing a dart that makes enemies nauseous, a fake pen that explodes. Before missions, you'll be choosing what gadgets to take with you. You'll be using them all, no matter what. So making that decision to choose what gadget is right for that mission can be a hard one to choose, because every gadget is right for the job. But when you are on the job, you may be thinking, maybe I should have took this gadget over that one. From M, Bond, Greenway, Moneypenny, Q, and the guy that plays a young James Bond. He also starred in Young Dexter, and that is Patrick Gibson, and he sounds absolutely incredible as Bond, portraying that Daniel Craig-esque Bond with the way he sounds. It is perfect. And just all of the cast of characters in this game, the story, the atmosphere, the location, and the driving. It wouldn't be a Bond game without these intense driving sequences and chases. The overall scope of the James Bond universe has been beautifully captured and perfectly executed in this game. This game literally has it all. As you go through the game as well, you'll be picking up notes, documents, flyers, postcards, playing cards for collectibles as well. There's collectibles in this game with safes to find codes to as well, with white paint on the wall indicating to climb here. And there is these blue and yellow tops where, oh yes, I can climb that. That must be climbable, but it really doesn't bother me. This game is a linear adventure with big open areas. This isn't open world at all. There is just these big, explorable open areas where you can just run free in. There's also tac sim where you just go and beat up enemies in virtual environments of previous levels. That just gets down to the combat, which is the best part about this game. The combat, where it'll give you different challenges and scenarios to play out in these tac sims, with different weapons you can buy and use, and also different outfits and suits that you can put on Bond. And IO have already said that you're going to flush this out even more with upgrades and new cosmetic items and weapons. This game though is just a 10 out of 10. This is the James Bond game that I have been waiting for. Again, I wanted this on the Nintendo Switch 2. That was the system that I was going to plan on buying this on over my PlayStation 5. But I couldn't wait. I had to have it now. I had to play it now and experience James Bond all these years later with a brand new entry. And as always, James Bond will return. James Bond will return on the Nintendo Switch 2 later this year. And that I cannot wait for.